Hey, and now we are going to move to the final unit of this level, which is Unit 6, Research Methods in Education. The aim of this unit is to develop your research skills to include understanding different research approaches, formulation of research proposals, planning research activity, analyzing and interpreting data, and the relationship between research and evidence-based practice. So, having covered all the previous units, the very final unit is about conducting research and really learning how you could do that in your role. We are going to discuss how research contributes to the education provision and some of the key benefits here that I have briefly summarized. Of course, in the actual sessions we are going to talk in much greater detail, but what is the purpose of research? Well, it gives scope for improvement. It gives us the opportunity to facilitate innovation. It identifies gaps in the quality of education provision, and of course it inspires progress. Now these are some very briefly summarized benefits, and we are going to go into much more detail at the actual unit, because it is important to understand how to use research methods in our own practice and why we should as effective practitioners and education managers. We're also going to look at how we could keep up to date with recent search, with the recent research in our education, in our sector of work, whatever, because the education sector is quite a wide concept. That is why here we are going to be talking about which industry we're in and within the education sector, and what are the key pieces of recent research that are impacting the creation of policies that are influencing the way we do our roles, and also perhaps they are revolutionizing the way we even teach. There is a really useful online resource that you could use for research to keep yourselves up to date. It's a reliable resource, and that is Science Daily. And just to give you an example here, because during Unit 6 we are going to be talking about different pieces of research during the sessions. This is just an example, just one of the examples. Different pieces of like real life research, recent research that has impacted the way organizations approach education, the way organizations approach training, and also even how we learn as people, as humans, because that inspires new methods of teaching and the emerging of technology as well, new technologies, especially artificial intelligence, and how that is used in organizations, because some organizations are already beginning to use robots, and I have seen that in the corporate world. I could personally give examples at some of the lectures, or the lectures that are going to be facilitating the sessions as well. There will be a lot of practical examples. So here an article which I thought you might find fascinating was from actually last year in October 2021, where there was research was conducted in Imperial College London, and researchers found that brain cells differences could be key in how we learn. So that was something that's quite fascinating. I have read this piece of research. We do not have that much time here for the purpose of this overview session so that I can cover it, but during the actual sessions there will be very interesting pieces of research that will be brought to the session, so that you could see practically how recent research is really revolutionizing the learning and education industry as well. And this source here that you see on the screen is something that you could visit yourselves in your own time if you're already working as education managers, just so that you could see what some of the most recent news are in terms of research that is affecting the way policies are made, the way people learn, and things like that. Okay. So as I mentioned, level 7 and particularly unit 6 is not going to be only about learning how to source the necessary information to learn what is happening currently, which is impacting the creation of policies, especially also on the research side, but also how you yourselves can conduct the research in your own role. We are going to cover the different approaches to research. There are two basic approaches that are the academic approach, which focuses on the development of education theory. It involves testing, modifying, developing new theories. That is the academic approach. And there is also the applied or contractual approach, which actually involves collecting information that can be applied to practice, and it involves looking for solutions based on existing problems and challenges in education. What I would assume here, but again, that would very much depend on the role that you're currently in or the role that you are looking to pursue, that the research methods that the research approach that you are going to be adopting is highly likely to be more on the practical side, which is the applied or contractual approach, unless you actually work as a researcher within the academic field, and that would involve development, the new theories and things like that. During Unit 6, you are going to learn more about both approaches to research and see which one really resonates with what you currently do and how you could apply it as well. But the applied contractual approach is something that a lot of practitioners, managers within the education field are using, because even very often, even if they're not consciously calling it research, when they're managing change, when they're identifying gaps when it comes to how education programs are delivered, they are actually looking at the existing problems that the organization is facing, and they are looking for solutions. So this is very much the applied and the applied, aka contractual approach to research. What you are going to find particularly useful when it comes to Unit 6 is that you are going to learn how to actually plan a research proposal. There will be templates and drafts that you are going to be presented with, and you are going to be supported into creating a research proposal. We're going to look at the different elements of a research proposal. Unless you will be tasked with creating one in your role, it is useful to have that knowledge so that you can prepare a research proposal, and that is why we'll cover all those elements that a proposal includes and how to write those as well. Some of those elements are introduction, obviously background, objective of the study, the importance, the methods, the implications. So again, very briefly, as we do not have that much time to cover things here, as this is just an overview session, but Unit 6 involves actually planning a real research proposal and knowing how to have all those elements included as well. And there will also be, of course, you also learn how to analyze and interpret data. We're going to be talking about data collection. So depending on which research approach you are adopting, whether you're adopting the basic academic approach or the applied contractual approach, again, depending on your role, we are going to be looking at how we are collecting the data and also how we could analyze it. So what methods are we going to use in order to analyze the data? How are we going to record the data? How are we going to present the data? Because after we have created a research proposal, if we have been given the go-ahead by senior stakeholders for us to conduct the research, how are we going to actually collect analyze and then present the findings of the research for the purpose of improving the performance of a particular team, organization, or again, if you are working as a researcher, then the formulation of new theories that you will be working on. So unit 6 is going to be quite interesting, as you are going to learn not only the theoretical side of how research is conducted, because we're going to look at the different approaches and then discuss key theories as part of those approaches, but you're also going to learn how to practically apply what you're learning and how to actually create those proposals and move ahead with conducting real research. So this is very much unit 6. And of course, we are also going to discuss the relationship between research and evidence-based practice, and the types of research and how that inspires evidence-based practices, and of course how we use those in order to improve practice as well. So this unit encompasses a lot of information. It will be broken into different sessions so that we could really become familiar with the practical implications of research as well, not only the theoretical ones. And that pretty much sums up what we are going to be talking about during unit 6. And now, before we wrap up this overview session, I am going to briefly summarize all of the units so that you know again what you're going to be covering during this level. And if there are any questions, you could always reach out to us and we are going to provide you with more information. So the mandatory units are 6. The very first one is about contemporary issues in education, theory, policy, and practice. Here, as I previously mentioned, briefly mentioning again, it's very much about what is currently happening in education and how this is impacting the creation of policy, how this is impacting our own practice. There will also be a theoretical element in here as well to understand how theory, policy, and practice are correlated. The biggest benefit of Unit 1 is really understanding how the current dynamic globally is impacting our roles and the creation of different policies within our roles, within our organizations. And then again, unit 1 leads really nicely towards Unit 2, which was about the management of educational change, where if you were to champion a change initiative, you know exactly how you could successfully complete a change management project. You will be supported by knowing all the models you could, by learning more about the different models you could use, and then how to put those models into practice. And then Unit 3, managing effective intercultural communication and perspectives. That is very much about really creating that inclusive working environment and understanding the role that culture plays in the way we communicate, so that we can ensure that we are role modeling effective communication and really creating that, ensuring that legislation is we are complying with the key legislation when it comes to different cultures, diversity, and things like that, and also really creating that positive working environment as well. And then Unit 4, it's all about pedagogy, the concept of pedagogy, and practice in education, looking at the different approaches and how we could use different methods in order to become effective practitioners and education managers. Again, Unit 5. Unit 4 is leading really nicely towards Unit 5, which is very much about, again, reflecting on our own practice, but taking it one step further and really learning how to encourage our teams and the wider organization to use reflective practice. Again, here we're talking about how we ourselves could use reflective practice to improve, but also how we could encourage others and support them in using reflective practice as well. And then the very final unit, Unit 6, which we just covered, was very much about knowing how to use research methods in your roles. Right. I hope you found this overview session useful. Again, if there are any questions, you could reach out to the UK education group and our team will answer the questions. I'm sure you'll find this level very useful, and it is going to prepare you to succeed in your role as an education manager.